Well, hey there, how's it going? It's been a few weeks. I released a new album. I lost like 8 pounds. Christmas happened. Happy New Year, by the way, unless you're watching this a few weeks or months in the future, in which case, happy Ash Wednesday. And you know what I'm giving up for Lent and New Year's? Super complicated synths. Since starting this channel, something that has been increasingly catching my eye, other than weird anime animal caricatures that sock puppet accounts use on Twitter, is synthesizers that are just relatively simple and accessible. And not only for myself, but especially for other people, because it brings more new people into this industry. I just really do value devices where you never really have to think about opening a manual. And in fact, this week I was initially scheduling to do a feature on the Erebus Synths Centrix 2, and I decided to do one on these instead because of that. So last year when I first got my hands on the Dreadbox Nymphs, I actually didn't have that high of expectations, because how good could a USB-powered analog polysynth be? And I was blown away. The quality was absolutely incredible, and for that size and price, for a 6-voice analog polysynth, it's an accomplishment to say the least. But the workflow did have a moderate learning curve with the side menu and preset controls. So back last year, when doing that Nymphs feature, I was actually browsing around saying, all right, what else does Dreadbox have that is more accessible? And I found Hades and Erebus. Both were sold out, but now they are reissued. And what you see is what you get. They could serve as great beginner analog synthesizers or as very unique sounding analog oscillators or synthesizers for your large synthesizer collection. So here's Hades, the monophonic bass synthesizer. Hook up the LFO to the filter. If we go to saw wave and turn the LFO rate way up on this filter, we could probably make this sound quite a lot like a human voice. A big pro right off the bat is the LFO range. Like, it really gets you to feel how analog this thing is. Yeah, that's crazy. However, it is a bit of a shame that there is no CV input for the LFO speed, because I would really like to control that with something else. You could switch between a decay or release envelope. And then it has its own drive or overdrive or distortion. Not a huge fan of the drive on the square, however on the saw it sounds quite good. Before we even hear this thing, I do like the Erebus more than I like the Hades, and I do like it enough to justify the $100 extra. I think that the Erebus would actually make a pretty good Eurorack module, whereas I feel like the Hades would be a little bit too limited with the ins and outs. Obviously, both of these are going to be almost unmatched at being able to get a really bubbly analog raw sound, but it feels like there's more options with the Erebus to dial in a weird oscillating tone that you wouldn't really hear on other traditional synths. I realize that YouTube's audio codec is not the best for this type of thing, but let's move forward. Then we can mix in the other one. And I have the mod of the key step here going into the pulse width. I can't find another patching cable. The echo sounds very noisy, doesn't it? I guess that's kind of on purpose. Yeah, the oscillators really do have a wide range of options. Plug the mod into LFOR. It's useful for some sound design. Now this is duophonic, by the way, so I'm turn off legato, turn on duo, turn off sync. Let's introduce it to a friend. Damn. So what do you think? I actually really like Dreadbox's series of small USB analog synthesizers that could also be Eurorack modules. I think they're really unique and really fun. To be completely honest with you, I can't imagine that I will be using them all that much in my music, but that's because they don't really fit into my workflow, not because they're bad. On second thought, I actually take that back. I could see the Erebus making its way into my modular rack, which I intend on completely revamping because I'm bored with it and I never use it anymore. I think that Dreadbox's boxes actually serve the most purpose when used with something that's very digital, like a Polyend player, a Polyend tracker, or an MPC Live, or an iPad, or even your DAW on a computer. The range and bruteness of the oscillators just give your overall jam that touch of imperfect chaos that you can't accidentally get from a VST the way you can from one of these boxes. The price is not good. It's also not bad. If you are early on Dreadbox releases, you can usually get the DIY kits for quite a lot less. If not, you could get the fully assembled and ready to use Erebus reissue for €387 plus VAT, which is going to be like $515 at the time of me recording this. If you're in North America, also at the time of me recording this, Perfect Circuit sells it for $499 and can ship it to you relatively quickly. The Hades mono bass synth is €282, which is about $375 USD after VAT. Perfect Circuit sells those for $399. Depending on if Perfect Circuit has a 10% off coupon you can use, you're either saving or losing a little bit of money ordering it through them. Honestly, I think that for things like this, in 2018, the prices would be nearly 50% less than what they are now, but the supply chain effect on electronics is very real, it's still happening, and it is brutal. The good news is that the Trump-era tariffs on electronic components are expiring soon, and they most likely will not be renewed. A lot of people don't realize this, but those are responsible for driving up the cost of a lot of synthesizer components by 25%. Without me turning this into a geopolitical meta-analysis of the synthesizer economy, my point is, shit's fucked. It's hard to really tell what is or isn't a reasonable price right now. But I could tell you that this is unreasonable. But here is something that is reasonable. If you decide that you want to nab one of these, and if you get it from Perfect Circuit through the link in the description, I will donate 100% of my affiliate income to the ACLU. And you know what's reasonablest of all? You can join a community of friendly, productive, like-minded, creative geniuses like yourself and participate in monthly songwriting challenges, download loads of audio assets, etc., all for $1. Now that is reasonable. Don't worry, I'm not turning a new leaf or anything. We're going to return to the controversial bitchy videos soon, but sometimes it's just nice to take a deep breath and turn a knob every now and then, you know what I mean? All right, take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye.